knew that my last book haul wasn't my last book haul, didn't you? So I've had this sort of building up for the last month and a half, and I was waiting on this one package before doing a book haul, but I don't know when it's gonna come. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this haul for you guys. And I'm almost positive I missed something because in a month and a half things can get really scattered, so... But I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I can remember at least. Some of them you've already seen because they were in this month's TBR, but I haven't talked to you about them, where they came from and all that, so here we go. I just got The Handbook for Dragon Slayers by Mary Haskell, which I am super geeked about and have already read. You saw my enthusiasm for The Princess Curse in my Friday Reads video, and again in my January wrap-up. And so, after, you know, going crazy over that book, Mary asked me on Twitter if I would like a copy of Handbook, which is her next book, and I was like, oh, that's okay, Mary, that's fine. Yes, I would. Like a great slavering beast, I was like on it. So she sent me a copy and was nice enough to sign it. This one comes out in May, very end of May, almost June, from HarperCollins Children's, and it is fantastic. I am going to talk more both about this and The Princess Curse during Fairy Tale Fortnight, and I believe we're going to have Mary stop by as well, so definitely make sure that you stop by and check that out. Not that I'm trying to turn this into my February Rewind, but if you are a fan of middle grade and adventure stories, or you have a kid in your life that, you know, is a fan of adventure stories, or any other excuses that you need to tell yourself, I would grab this, pre-order this, pick up The Princess Curse while you're at it. Both are just phenomenal. Strands of Bronze and Gold by Jane Nickerson. This is also for Fairy Tale Fortnight, and I did show you guys this one in my TBR video for this month. But I didn't get to talk a ton about it, so I'm going to do a little bit of that now. I have already read it. I'm not going to tell you what I think yet. This comes out about the middle of next month from an imprint of Random House, and it is a retelling of Bluebeard, which is super dark, crazy fairy tale and one of my favorites. But if you aren't familiar with Bluebeard, I would say don't read it yet if you want to read this. Just go into this blind, because I think it would make for a really interesting story, and you won't know what's coming, so that'll be cool. But basically, it's this sort of Southern Gothic take on Bluebeard, set mid-1800s, and I quite enjoyed it. So I guess I did just tell you what I thought of it. But you'll see my review at the end of March, beginning of April for Fairy Tale Fortnight, and hopefully I can get Jane to stop by as well. Fractured by Terry, which is the sequel to Slated. This comes out, I believe, May in the UK, but I'm not sure because I thought this was an ARC and it's actually a finished copy, so it doesn't have the date on it. But I will let you know. I'll put a little annotation, but you may remember I loved Slated and was definitely eager to see where Fractured was going to go, so I will be reviewing this closer to its release date for the UK, and I have no idea when it's coming out here in the US because I don't even think Fractured is out in the US yet. This is Fractured. God. I don't even think that Slated is out in the US, but I'll put a note on that too. The Secret of Ella and Micah by Jessica Sorensen. This one is coming out, I believe, the end of March from Grand Central Publishing, and I hadn't heard too much about it. I want to say that it was self-pubbed originally, but kind of caught fire, so it was picked up by a bigger publisher. But basically the publicist was someone that I had worked with before and pitched it to me, said she thought I'd like it, and I said sure. So hopefully I will review this about mid-March before it comes out, but it's really going to depend on the fairy tale craziness, so I might have to review it around the beginning of April, but keep an eye out. Shadowlands by Kate Bryan. I already talked about this one as well in my wrap-up for last month, and I have already reviewed it. The review is up on the blog, and I was very, very torn. But basically, this one is already out, came out at the beginning of January from Disney Hyperion, and it is interesting in a kind of M. Night Shyamalan way, but yeah, you can check out the review, see what I thought. Epic Fail by Claire Lizepnik. I was posting about this on Twitter because it was one of the Kindle Daily deals, and when I went to grab the link for it, I noticed that they actually had physical copies of it as well in the bargain bin, so I figured why not. It is a YA contemporary retelling of sorts of Pride and Prejudice, so of course I had to buy it for Jane and June. Whether I read it this year or not, it definitely needed to go on the Jane and June shelf, and I have heard that it was really, really cute and charming. And I believe, if you're interested, that it is still in the Kindle deals and in the bargain bin. I think there were still a couple copies, so if you want to snatch up those last remaining copies, I left links. I showed you these next two as well. They are graphic novels from First Second. The first is Relish by Lucy Knisley, I'm not sure. And I did just read this one last night and liked it. I will tell you more about that in my February rewind, but basically this comes out in April, and it's sort of a foodie memoir in graphic novel form, which is awesome, and there are recipes interspersed throughout, so pretty neat. And the other is Jerusalem by Boaz Yakin and Nick Bertozzi. This is also coming out in April and is not a memoir, but sort of based on the author's life and his family throughout the founding of Israel and the sort of tumultuous war years and all of that. So, sounds really interesting. Again, graphic novel. Also, randomly, I got a copy of Hiding in Sunshine by Jon Stewart and Caitlin Stewart. This came from Influencer, which I'll leave a link below, but it's this sort of social media measuring website that sometimes sends out free things for people to review and sort of buzz about with their social media platforms. And this was one of the things they sent, which is kind of, most of what they send is samples, so that's much easier to review. It's a limited use, it's not a huge investment of your time. A book is quite a different sample. I mean, that's a commitment of your time. So even though I know they want me to review this and talk about it through various social media and kind of get the book out there, that's a big commitment for me when I've already got all these books that I requested or, you know, want to read or know anything about. So I don't know much about this. I think it's maybe a thriller. It's like a father-daughter thing, and believe that it was written by a father and a daughter duo. But that's all I really know about it, and I have no idea when I'll be able to read it, so sorry, Influencer. And lastly, I got a thank you package from the awesome people at Macmillan for taking part in the Scarlet blog tour. My review of this is already up, as well as a post from Marissa about the gruesome side of fairy tales. But basically, as a thank you, they sent some Lunar Chronicles bookmarks, a Scarlet lip balm, which is watermelon, and it smells divine. It smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. Oh my god. I love it. And a Lunar Chronicles hoodie. Little Red Riding Hood, get it? So it says Scarlet on the sleeve and Lunar Chronicles on the back. And it is super warm and fuzzy. So thank you, Macmillan, for that. That is all in this book haul, I hope. I'm not entirely certain. I will have something to show you when it gets here, and I'm eager for it, so I want to show you that. But that's all that I can think of at the moment. I've recorded 2 videos today, and this is the aftermath. This is what happens to my bed when I record videos for you guys. They come off the bookshelves much quicker than they go back in. But anyway, that's it for me for this book haul. Definitely let me know what you think of the books that I got in the comments. If you've read them, want to read them, have any suggestions, whatever. There are links to all of the books that I mentioned below, so you can check them out, add them to your wish lists, treat yourself to a little spree. Real quick, before I let you go, I just want to say a huge thank you, like 4,000 thank yous to you guys, because I just hit 4,000 subscribers, and that is... the mind is boggled. I don't even know where to put that in my brain. Also, we are right around 5,000 views away from 250,000 views. That is insanity. That is insanity. Basically what I'm saying is you guys are frickin' amazing. I can't even believe it. And I think that when we hit that 250,000 views, we're gonna have to celebrate. And I can think of one way to do that. So keep an eye out is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, also, I kind of cut my hair. Not that I'm trying to turn this into my February rewrite. I noticed that they actually had hardcovers of it. Not hardcovers, because this is not a hardcover. Thank you, noisy tractor.